Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to start the Roomba of Thought. Today's, for now, is going to be me and me. We'll see if the other two will join in to us shortly. So, let's get to it, shall we? Hello, me.
Hello there.
Welcome in. So, how's it going, dude? How's been your week?
I'm finishing up my breakfast at the moment.
Food. Sustenance.
Yes. I have obtained a meal.
The foodening. What are you having for breakfast?
Food.
I mean, fair enough. I was expecting a little more info, but well, you do you.
I haven't actively eaten my mouth the last bite, okay? I'm avoiding giving the chat as much ASMR as possible.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, you're done with the foodening.
Yes.
Nice. So, what do we want to start for today while we wait on the Kane and the Nina?
While we wait on our Flareon and our Raichu
Yes.
to join in, the Ninetales and the Gallade.
Will now speak.
Let's just consult the all-knowing idea box for ideas.
Organic food, and why is it cringe?
I kind of want to talk to that with the others here.
What do we have then?
I think the first thing that was put in here after last week was what got me to speed running on the first place.
But I want to wait until everyone is here so I can explain that.
Kane's DIY. There really isn't that much in the idea box for this week. The only other thing really in the idea box is me going to see Train.
Me being a TO is for German, and then a question that I wanted to ask the other too.
Alright.
Because, okay,
Well,
so, a little bit of explanation. This morning, because yesterday I didn't stream, because I was busy with the tournament, I decided to stream this morning until 5. From 12 to 5, so I got both hours. And someone in chat asked me, is Twitch social media? So that's what I included in the idea box, because I wanted to ask you, you three, if you consider it social media or not.
I don't.
I do.
I think it fills a different niche on the internet than a social media site does.
Yes, but at the same time, you also socialize with people through chat. And I mean, look at me. I made friends out of Twitch.
Fair enough, I suppose. But is Twitch really the place you go to communicate with people?
I go to YouTube. Okay, jokes aside. I don't really go to Twitter to socialize with people. I only go there for memes and boobs.
What?
I only go to I'm sorry, X for memes and boobs.
I suppose the association of that letter with that genre
You-
of imagery is appropriate. Then I suppose
Now, yes, but it used to be Twitter.
the land once known as Twitter, and to which most people will probably still refer to as Twitter.
And will probably refer to as Twitter. They are the people in Twitter are going to bully fucking Elon Musk to bring back Twitter. Stop calling it X.
Brand recognition. Okay, okay. Here's the question though. Since they're no longer using the name,
Yes.
I don't use the question because I don't know. How long does the copyright on Twitter stay active before someone else can steal it?
I have no idea. He's looking it up, chat. He's looking it up.
No, it would be trademark. Trademark expired.
You're getting your answer? Always anything resembling an answer?
Trademarks aren't very consistent.
Hmm.
Okay, it's about 10 years by the looks of it.
So
But it's
around
10
2033.
It's 10 years though from the last time it was refreshed, not when it stopped being used.
Ah.
'Cause
Wait,
trademarks
when
are-
was it last refreshed?
Good
Assume-
question. It's entirely possible it might expire tomorrow. I don't know.
True.
Oh, my dad just called me. We'll be right back.
Alright, well, I guess I'm alone in the chat right now. Meanwhile, I guess we have fucking Gran Turismo to see. Looks like the fucking American cars are gonna end up last. Because good heavens, they are slow as hell, even though they are like probably higher horsepower than that fucking Opel Speedster turbo. How the hell is this car like already like 4 or 5 seconds ahead of fucking this one? How many seconds are you ahead? 31? It's cute. 9 seconds. Okay.
I have been called to help with something. I will probably be a good while
So
because they forgot I had something. But I told them I had something, but
they forgot.
they forgot. They're upset. I'm like, I told you about this when you first said that this would be a thing.
And they're like,
They're like, this would have been good to know yesterday. I'm like, first of all, you didn't tell me about this yesterday. You told me about this like a week ago, and I told you like a week ago that I had something.
because he has something every Sunday now.
Yes. Hopefully it won't take too long, though.
Hopefully, because I'm the only one alone, because I would be alone now, and I don't know what the fuck to talk about.
Do live commentary on your gaming.
I mean, true, but I'm on these.
Like a
So.
normal stream or something. I don't know.
I mean, fair enough.
And hopefully one of the others shows up.
Yeah, hopefully Kane or Mina shows up. Because Mina has been like online, quote unquote, but at the same time she has had moving to do from her
Mina's
apartment.
been moving, so.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's not able to attend. I mean, it's like there's like 2 people
Anyway.
in chat. So yeah. Go do your
Avatar
thing.
should now get up from the table.
Get off the Roomba. He is now out of the Roomba. He is gone, chat. I'm alone. Help. Man. I definitely need people. So come with me and do fucking Roomba of Thought shit, I guess. I mean, it's like, there's not much to say. I just brought an overpowered card to this race. To fucking 4 hours of the Nürburgring. I didn't choose the 24. Wait, chat! I forgot to tell me this. Although you probably would have seen it through the ping that I sent on the Discord server. Whoever is here, I have no idea who it is. You can donate points for me to do in a combination of A and B spec 24 hours of an endurance race. It can be either the 24 hours of the Nürburgring or the 24 hours of Le Mans. AKA do Sector Soft, either 1 or 2, I don't care, either works. So yeah, that's a thing that might happen if you guys put 38,000 points, approximately near 39,000 points, for the pot in order to achieve the goal. For now, we only have 3% done, but hey, it is achievable. I don't think I put a crazy goal. So well, Neepy's gone, Guinness is asleep, Mina's probably moving. I'm going to be playing 2 games at once. I should do this. Hold on. Fun fact, chat, I have that car IRL. Not the actual car, I have a scaled down Hot Wheels version of that car. I have it right next to me too. Right now. So I'm not really gaming right. I'm just like vibing right now because, you know, I was expecting Roomba of Thought and people would be more awake. But I guess he just decided not to go to sleep in time for this, and it's now EP Boy. EP Boy. And yeah. Help. Honestly, if anyone can join, that would be cool. When it's like, I'll join you. You can be like, wait, hold on, let me set up your emote, your talking emote or something like that. I have with Kane, and now with Octo, which I have added him into the regular roster in the voice chat. We're big time vibing here. We always are in the Jimmy-The-Hedgehog channel. We vibe and thrive. Okay. We're still in lap 2. You can tell if this is a really long fucking track. It is the longest track of the game. Around 7 to 8 laps depending on the car. Sometimes even longer if it's a really slow car. But yeah, that is the number again for you all. What's all of that view? Here's the car. The background of the voice. Alright, let's see. By the way, chat, today I found out you can get shinies in Pokemon Sleep. How, you may ask? Because I found a goddamn shiny Diglett. I have a shiny Diglett in Pokemon Sleep and I cannot believe it. It is whack as fuck. Like, actually, whack as fuck. We are big time running. This is... Alright. I assume that he's going to probably have to fit him to the next 1 or 2 laps, probably in the next lap. I'm not surprised if it's in this lap, but who knows? We'll have to see it. It does look nice though. Oh shit! I went from 2 to 8 subs. Let's go.
People of the Twitch chat, I have
Oh my god,
returned.
he is back. He is alive. The meep is alive. I put. Please send questions if you come by. Just looking right now through a couple of things. I was A, playing fucking Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, doing raids. B, checking the Gran Turismo. C, waiting for any question from chat. And D, checking what videos I have uploaded to Twitch, from Twitch to YouTube. The last one that I've done is the... it seems like it was the... Okay. The endurance races. I haven't done this one.
So, actually, speaking of endurance races,
Yes?
here's something we can talk about. I saw a video actually talking about the NASCAR at Le Mans
Yes?
and like the actual things with it.
Yes?
And so, first of all, it did pretty well.
Yes, it beat all the GTE cars, which is, you know, what it wanted to be because it was similar level-ish.
Yes. However, the thing to keep in mind, the thing to keep in mind though, is also that the NASCAR was basically placed into what is effectively the experimental class, meaning
Yes.
its rules were don't be dangerous to other cars. That and the design team wanted to make sure it still looked like a NASCAR.
Yeah.
That was basically the only restrictions they had. Like, to put it in perspective of how light the restrictions were, they technically cheated. Despite having basically no rules. Because they got an exception to replace a gearbox they destroyed during the race.
Ah.
Because the whole thing is, it's the experimental class. It's new wild thing.
Yeah.
It's like the thing is, from like all the clips you can find of it, yup, that's a NASCAR, as close to it as you can get while being legal at Le Mans.
Yep. Speaking of endurance races, Meep, have you noticed something?
Because you can hear the difference, because it's got the classic NASCAR sound engine.
Yeah. No, doy. Probably has a NASCAR engine in it. Yeah.
And I like how they also decided to keep the fact that NASCARs don't have doors.
Yeah, that was funny.
They did have to give it headlights though.
Speaking.
Like, literally Lightning Queen in Cars too.
As I was saying,
Anyway, you were trying
speaking
to
of
say.
endurance races, I have made a goal to do a 24-hour endurance race if the people in chat, or people in general that come to my Twitch channel and put points to it, to do a 24-hour endurance race on stream. That means also going to sleep while stream is going. Because we are not losing any minute.
Okay. Now, Jimmy,
Yes.
here's a question.
Yes.
Do you want me to single-handedly make this happen?
You can?
I have 69,000 channel points.
Nice. I
And the
thought there was a
goal-
limit. Though I thought there was a limit to points, like how many points you can donate.
Oh yeah, never mind. It maxes out at 2,000 Mopla coins.
I mean, feel free to add in your 2,000 coins. Also, goddamn, 60. There we go, 2,000 more. Now we have 10%. Because we have like 3,000 something.
It says 8%.
Oh, close to 10%. We have now 3,000 points.
I mean, it's not like I was really gonna spend them on things, let's be real.
Even though I have like a wide variety of things you can spend them on.
I mean, let's be real, I'm never gonna reach the 2.5 million for the free sub.
Yeah, but I mean, there's like so many other things that you can use it on.
Yeah, I could make you speak in a language I don't understand for an hour.
True. Oh, you make.
I could make myself say facts.
Yes.
Even though that's basically the entire point of the Roomba of Thought anyway.
Yes, but at the same time, it was in an era where the Roomba of Thought didn't exist, and it was just you and I doing goofy things while playing video games. And that is still going to stay there. For now.
True. It was just the two of us and the Ghost of Cain. It was the two of us and the Ghost of Cain.
And sometimes Mina.
No,
when it was
I'm
Mystery
talking
Dungeon 2.
Oh. No, I was more talking about when we were doing the Nuzlocke stuff.
Yep.
The you, me, and the Ghost of Cain.
I was thinking to put the... There's a reason why those are the exact points that I asked for. That is the length of the Nürburgring track in miles multiplied by 3. That's why those are the points that I asked for.
I see.
Yes. I already have a car in mind and everything. Hmm? In miles.
I asked, are these in imperial or nautical miles?
I mean, I translated from kilometers to miles, so I'm pretty sure it will be imperial miles.
It's imperial miles. No, nobody uses nautical miles for anything that isn't boats.
Yes.
And nautical miles are literally all nautical miles are. It's miles, but rounded to make math easier.
Ah. So it is miles for dummies. That's what you're telling me, yes?
Basically.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Also, Meep, the car in second place is a fucking Opel. Like this tiny, front engine rear-wheel drive German convertible is faster than a Honda NSX, a Mustang, a Mitsubishi Lancer, and a Chevrolet Camaro.
Vroom vroom.
Like, what the fuck? I mean, yeah, I can go to Zoomies, but not as fast as those fucking 4. Meanwhile, me bringing
This is literally the plot of Top Gun Maverick, Jimmy. It's the pilot plane.
Meanwhile, me bringing a road version of a race car.
Which bringing a road version of a race car to a racetrack to race cars.
Yeah, well, they're all road cars. You can only use road legal cars. If I recall correctly, I think you can only use road legal cars in this one.
I'm gonna bring a traction engine.
And I brought the Nissan R390 GT1 road version. Which, fun fact, is one of like...
Honestly, that would be something that would be...
Sorry? It cut off.
That would be something that would unironically be hilarious as like a meme vehicle in one of these race games. Is they just add like a traction engine, which if you don't know, is just a road steam engine.
I mean, we have in this game we have the patent wagon.
Okay.
You know, the first car.
Oh, okay.
And the second car ever made. They're both in this game. which I find
That's a good vehicle.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Ford
like
Model T.
yes. And you know how you get the Ford Model T? You have to get a gold in the hardest license in the entire game. You have to gold every single one of the licenses.
And you get a car that goes 30 miles an hour.
Yes. There's like 700 cars in this game, which is a lot.
Fair enough.
And a lot of them are Japanese. Because Japan.
So, on the topic of the Ford Model T, though, I was watching something on it a while back on it.
Yeah?
Ford Model T has 3 pedals, none of which are the accelerator.
And then how do you accelerate?
There's a lever on the steering column.
Oh? Okay, hold on. One of that has to be the brakes. Oh my god, the drift on the car. Oh my god, yeah, those rear tires are fucking gone.
I don't even remember what they all do. But it's just, all you need to know is this was the era when you bought a car, they sent a guy along with it to teach you how to drive. However, back then, that was also, learning how to drive wasn't learning the rules of the road, that was learning how the fuck you operate this machine.
Yes, how the fuck does it work? I mean, in Gran Turismo, the test licenses is more like, how the fuck do cars work? That's what it teaches you, and how to go through corners fast and other things like that.
Imagine though if they like for cars had like whack control schemes, they like did something weird with your control.
It's very
like the Ford Model T like changed like the accelerate button to something else.
That will be fucking bonkers. Also, this car has been slip and sliding. Those tires, those rear tires, are fucking dead. They are red. They're burning red.
They are so smooth.
They are.
Your will slide right off.
Yeah, the car is going to probably it's been able to be controlled because this car has a lot of downforce, and it's hard to spin a race car. It is possible, but it's hard. And the driver, the poor B-spec driver, never mind. He just spun the car. Which is in a corner that I would expect him to spin the car. Truth be told. I'm going to slap hearts on them. I'm going to slap hearts on that rear. Maybe that'll last him another lap. But yeah, I have this car in real life as a Hot Wheels model, and I think it's a beautiful looking car. Like in each game that I know it's in, I try to get it. Because it is genuinely a really nice looking car. Like have you heard of the GT1 era of Le Mans?
No.
So GT1 was a regulation in which, car manufacturers can bring in fast-ish cars, but they had to homologate them. And Porsche had the brilliant idea to make a race car first, and then make a road version of the race car. Which is I think it's the Porsche 911 GT1 Strassen version. And the Mercedes and other companies did the exact same thing, and that's what killed GT1. Like, you had cars in the era of GT1, you had things like the McLaren F1, which is the single fastest naturally aspirated car. And then you have things like this.
So let me get this right. The rules were, you can take any car you want, but it has to be a car that you're actually producing for people to drive.
Correct. And then they said,
which everyone responded, all right, time to mass produce race cars.
Correct. And the funny thing, they didn't give a specific number, and so what Nissan did was make one world version of the 390 GT1. Right. Like, yeah, Porsche and Mercedes did like 200, maybe 300 versions of their road version, or the road cars. Nah, they just did like one.
Good enough for government work.
Yup, good enough for the FIA, it seems. Honestly, Nissan has gone through a lot. Did you know that the GTR, the last Nissan GTR, had Polyphony Digital, the creators of Gran Turismo, work in it? They work on the interior HUD, like the screens and such. Nice. Because GTRs have only been Japanese until the Nissan GTR, the R35. Like, the cars before it were only from Japan, and you had to import them from Japan to America or Europe or whatever place it has to be.
And that meant you need to be able to read Weeb.
Exactly, basically. Or, you know, have a deep passion for JDM cars from the 90s. Because who the fuck would get one of those cars? Oh yeah, I know. Fast and Furious fans. And Gran Turismo fans. And Need for Speed fans. More so Gran Turismo and Fast and Furious fans. Have you watched any of the Fast and Furious movies?
No.
Neither did I. I know about them. I know that they have, like, at the beginning it's actually like street racing, and now it's, what the fuck is it even?
It's gone from street racing to
Family. Family and explosions.
It's gone from street racing to fighting terrorists or something like that.
Yeah.
Or driving cars. And then there's like a scene where there's a tank or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Which,
there's
let's
a
be
lot.
real. Let's be real. If someone shows up with a tank and you're in like a good car, just run away from it.
Yeah, you can outrun it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like
what do
one
you
of
think?
the fastest tanks ever made, like 40 miles an hour, or 50 miles an hour.
I mean, what do you think in Chad they had Toyotas equipped with guns?
Because they were broke.
And also to use them because they were faster than a T-55 battle tank.
That's not a very high bar, Jimmy. The Model T was nearly faster than the T-55.
Is that a T-55? I think it's a T-55. The Libya and Chad were T-55, yes?
The T-55, Jimmy, had I don't know. The T-55 has a top speed of 51 kilometers an hour.
Okay.
In ideal conditions.
Flat ground, sunny day.
Flat paved ground, okay? Toyota, let's go places. And in this case, those places are the front lines.
Yeah, even though they were probably not used for that, but,
The
you
official
know.
truck, guerrilla warfare.
The Toyota Hilux.
Yes.
It's funny how
Put a dish on the back and all's good.
yeah. It's funny because in World of Tanks you have, for me forever, what will stick in my head is the Panzer 1C. That it can go like 90 kilometers an hour. In game, probably wouldn't be that fast in real life. Probably like not even a third of the speed. But yeah, it can go like 90 kilometers an hour. You just fucking zoom. Neat.
So for context, Jimmy, one of the fastest tanks of that period were the BT tanks that the Soviets had.
Yeah.
They had a top speed of 72 kilometers an hour, or 45 miles an hour.
Yes. I mean, it's not slow for a tank. It sounds pretty swift, but yeah, no, compared to cars.
For a
not
tank, keep in mind that is the tank with that holds the record
to this day. And BT tanks aren't from like
this day for longest
between,
jump ever made by a tank. Yeah.
excuse me, the what now?
The BT, the BT2, the BT5, and the
BT7. Oh, BT8? I thought it was BT7.
and BT.
Ah.
The BT8 though is really just a BT7 with a different engine.
Ah, fair enough.
And to the point where sometimes it's not even referred to as the BT8, it's referred to as the BT7M. But, yeah. Also, fun fact, the engine that was used in the BT-8 is the same engine that Russia's still using on everything that isn't the T-14.
What? Oh my god, Russia. I forget that Russia's broke as shit, though.
No, you know what makes it even worse, Jimmy? You know what engine they're using in the T-14?
What?
It's a modified version of the Porsche Tiger's engine. You know, the worst
Engine ever.
part of the Porsche Tiger. It's not the worst engine ever, but it's the worst part of that tank.
Bruh. I still find it really funny that inside the Nürburgring Nordschleife, there's a town.
Is that like the equivalent of there being like a farm in the middle of Tokyo's airport?
Yes.
Top Keck.
Sometimes it's really funny to look at like a map or a mini map of a racetrack and think, what would this look like? This looks like a nugget. The Nürburgring looks like a wrinkly nugget.
That's the map that's currently on the stream, right?
Yeah.
You know what it kind of looks like to me?
Go ahead.
A deformed island of Cyprus.
Cheapity? Hold on.
I am thinking of the right island.
I think you are. You're thinking of an island.
No, I'm thinking of a different island.
Okay, I was like, what the fuck? What island are you thinking of that looks like that?
Hold on, I'm pulling up a map. Zoom and enhance. Come on, show me the name. Oh, it is Cyprus. What? The name is. Spell
Yeah.
it? Cyprus, like the island, the Mediterranean, near the Middle East. Under
Chipre.
Turkey.
Yeah. Chipre.
I don't know why I googled it and it showed something else. What?
That does not look like the Nürburgring Nordschleife at all. Like not even remotely. I'm looking at Chipre. Like, can you post the name that you're trying to put on chat so I can see if I'm thinking of the same island that you are? Because we might be thinking of two very different islands.
Cyprus. Is that how it's spelled? There. It's in the Twitch chat. The one that's just south of Turkey.
Yeah, no, it's Chipre. I do not see the resemblance at all, though.
It's vaguer than I thought it was. It's like it's kind of it because it's mainly that tail on the eastern end is much shorter than Nürburgring.
There's one map. I think it's the Alps. The Swiss Alps. It looks. It can look like two things depending on your type of brain. It can look like something horny, or it can look like a boot.
I see. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Nürburgring looking kind of like Cyprus. It's not to the level of the lake in Finland that looks like Finland, but you know. Yeah, Jimmy, are you looking up the lake in Finland that looks like Finland now?
No, I was not. But I can look it up.
I heard you keep going.
Lake in Finland that looks like Finland. What?
Yeah, there's a lake in Finland that is the shape of Finland. And it has a name that I cannot spell.
Nideitokainen Lake.
Yes.
That has the shape of Finland. I can see it, yeah. Yep.
Oh, hold on, I looked it up. It's an artificial pond. Okay, that's slightly less cool.
Oh, that's slightly less cool, yeah.
That's less cool.
It's still funny though that they decided to make it look like the fucking country. Not as cool, but it's still kind of funny.
Not as. Yeah. What other interesting things have been happening? I think I saw Europe's also suffering from heat wave, right?
I mean, we've been having like consistent 31 degrees in here in Spain for like the past 2 weeks, or like month. Why am I saying week? It's been the entire month, but we've been having like 30 degrees, 30 to 33.
87 Fahrenheit. Oh, Oh, you poor soul. Let's see. Where's
Yeah,
the?
meanwhile you 40 degrees Celsius, I know. May I remind you, we've also had 40 degrees Celsius in some parts of Spain.
Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona held 43 degrees Celsius for a month. An entire month.
Without changing?
Straight, without going below that. The highs were 43 degrees or higher for an entire month in the city of Phoenix.
Jesus Christ, no wonder you guys need AC.
Just how bad that was, the cacti began to die of heat stress.
Holy moly.
Death Valley, California achieved a new record of over 54 degrees Celsius.
Yes, Death Valley doesn't surprise me, really. If you give it a name like that.
Around where I was, though, it was named for good reason. Around where I am, it was hovering about 27 soon. I have a converter open on the other page. Yeah, it was hovering about 27 Celsius where I am. Which mainly sucked for me because I have work now, and that involves being outdoors in the sun all day.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the places I have to go don't even have shade, because I have to go all over the place when I work.
You know the problem? The air conditioning in my bedroom broke. So I only have a fan.
Suboptimal. At least your building had air conditioning. I know a lot of Europe doesn't.
Yeah, because Europe doesn't have to worry about heat. That's the thing. We don't have to worry about the heat as usual.
You didn't need to worry about the heat. You do now. Thanks, climate change. I mean, isn't Greece just on fire right now?
I don't know. Is it?
I remember hearing like half of Greece was on fire.
I'm pretty sure France is. And not for that. But for very different reasons.
Yeah, apparently currently Greece has a lot of ongoing wildfires.
That is unfortunate.
667 fires.
Excuse me, how many?
667.
Jeez.
According to Greece's climate change minister.
Jesus Christ. Places in goddamn fire.
Canada's had a horrible fire season.
True.
Canada's also had a really, really bad fire season.
Yes.
Keep in mind, okay, this is Canada, the world's second largest country. They've had 4,300 approximately this year.
Wow, I got really short. I was thinking like 3,000 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then compare it like
4,000.
And then compare Greece, which is relatively a small country.
Yeah, Greece is significantly smaller than Canada. Canada alone is like the size of the entire European continent.
Yes.
Okay?
Canada is large.
And Greece has had nearly an eighth of the fires that Canada's had.
And it's probably a 50th of the size.
Yeah.
Holy moly, I feel bad for the Greek people.
We could do the math and actually figure it out, but that's... Yeah.
I wasn't even calculating. I was saying... I was bullshitting my way through.
I think I read like one of Greece's large cities actually had to be evacuated.
Oh shit. Goddamn. This is no joke. Climate change sucks.
Meanwhile, in the United States, we have insurance companies are starting to pull out of a couple states due to disaster risk.
Oh boy. Imagine having to need insurance to
Notably, Florida. And also California.
Oh boy, the two I always think that California is a peninsula, but no, that's Baja California, which is in Mexico.
Yeah. I mean, California has peninsulas. That's where San Francisco is, but...
Yeah, but the state itself.
Yeah, no. Because California, a lot of them are pulling out because of a lot of the fires. Florida because they've suddenly come to the realization, oh wait, this place gets bowled over like 3 times a year by hurricanes. Why are we even like gambling that that's not gonna happen?
Also, Florida man. I saw something on I'm just gonna
Everybody's
call
least,
it Twitter.
all my homies' least favorite Florida man, Ronnie D. Ronnie D. Socialist, the governor of Florida, who is trying to get the state to sue the parent company of Bud Light because of the fact Bud Light's stock tanked after his own voter base boycotted it after they did a promotion with a trans person on, I think, like TikTok.
Bruh. So I saw something on Twitter the other day. It's like, check Florida man and then your birth date and see what happens.
Yup.
First thing I see from CB News, Florida man who ran naked through airport
Jimmy, you cut
screaming. Okay, sorry. Florida man, December 13th.
Yep.
From CBS News in 2019, Florida man who ran naked through airport screaming. I need to see the entire headline with this. Okay. Florida man who ran naked through airport screaming about a bomb sentenced to probation. Florida is weird. Give me yours. Oh, I need to see yours. What would be for you? Or are you checking it right now?
I'm finding a good one. Florida man steals alligator from golf course, tries teaching it a lesson by throwing it on roof of bar.
I assume on the date of your birthday?
Yeah, that's on the date of my birthday. Don't say what it is.
Throwing? I don't even remember, lol. I have pretty bad memory with birthdays.
Anyway, moving on.
No, hold on, I need to,
You have no way to prove I even looked up my
grabbing
own
an alligator? Grabbing an alligator and throwing it on a roof of a bar?
Yep.
Bruh.
That's the one for the dates I looked up, which may or may not be my birthday.
That is, Florida's weird, man. What is wrong with that country?
Oh, I'm gonna look
That
at some for
state.
Christmas Day.
Oh,
Florida,
yes.
December 25th. Let's see. Florida man arrested allegedly struck wife with Christmas tree after asked to help make a dinner.
He hit his wife with the
Florida
Christmas
man.
tree?
Florida man with drugs around penis denies they were his.
I'm sorry. Florida
Florida
man
man.
with drugs around his wiener denies her hits? What? What is
Florida
wrong?
man arrested for handing out marijuana because, quote, it was Christmas. There were many things wrong with Florida, Jimmy.
Oh my god. I've been to Florida and it wasn't that
The
bad.
state is still at war with Disney World.
Why? Don't they have a Disney World in Florida?
Disney World is in Florida, yes. And the governor basically wanted to get rid of some of their special protections. Officially, because they are admittedly kind of bullshit, but basically everyone agrees it's because Disney said something he didn't like, which was basically homophobia is cringe.
I mean, it is.
So basically, and then like the day before, like the governor like more or less directly took over the land, the body that had been doing it, that was basically all Disney appointees, basically gave themselves direct control to Disney for like 100 years, basically. something. Death of the last currently alive descendant of the King of England.
What the fuck?
So yeah, and basically they've been just going back and forth angrily ever since because Ronnie D-
I assume Bernie D is the governor of
Ronnie
Florida.
D's nuts. Got him. Yes, Ron DeSantis, or as I like to refer to him, Ronnie D. Satanist, because this man he's one of the people running against Donald Trump, okay,
Oh
for the
God.
Republican nomination. This man, in his official policy, one of the government organizations he plans to get rid of is the Environmental Protection Agency. He's running on a platform of abolishing the Environmental Protection Agency, okay? I mean, he's not the only one he wants to get rid of, but that's like the biggest one. It's like, are you
Why?
serious?
America, ladies and gentlemen. The powerhouse in the modern world.
Where we have the current front runners for the current 5 notable people running for president are a very old man,
Joe
a
Biden.
a slightly less old man who has staged a coup in the past
I
and
assume
is
that's.
currently being charged with a bunch of crimes.
I assume that's Orange Man.
Yes, we've got a man who is campaigning on the fact he is basically covering up history and wants to get rid of environmental protection laws.
I assume that's the Florida Man. Yes.
We've got the man whose personal brand of Jesus is basically bring about the end of the world so we can all go to heaven.
Excuse me, what?
And we've got on the Democrat ticket, we've got also an anti-vaxxer.
Oh my God.
Who also, fun fact, Ronnie D has said that if he gets elected, he's gonna reach across the party lines to grab that man to head the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. I mean, by the looks of it, it's gonna come down to the orange man and the old man.
As per usual.
Yeah, again. Which, I'm like, really, guys?
How is this man not put in jail and just never elected to be president?
Because every time he gets charged, he tells all his followers
It cut off.
it's a political witch hunt, and they believe him. Because every time this man gets charged with anything, he says that the government is out to get him for political witch hunt, basically. And everyone believes him, so they vote for him even harder.
Oh my God. What has the world come to? I miss Barack Obama.
Obama was cool.
Obama was a cool guy, and also had a funny voice.
He was by no means the best president we've ever had, but he's probably the best one we've had since the turn of the century.
Which is kind of worrisome.
I mean, let's be real, Obama had some questionable policies, particularly in the Middle East, but, you know, that's just standard America stuff.
Yeah, that's standard America with the Middle East.
Then we had the Orange Man.
We also had the son of Bush.
I
Right?
don't know enough about him to really say too much about that.
No, but I know he was president, so...
I think we had one of the Bushes.
Yeah, Bush Jr.
And now we have Joe Biden. Who, you know what's one of the weirdest things to me? The level of bullshit, like, the Trump crowd really makes about how old Joe Biden is.
How old is he, really? Like 60?
No, Joe Biden, I think he's like 80-something.
What?!
Joe Biden age. Yeah, he's 80 years old.
Bruh.
So the Trump crowd likes to make a whole song and dance of Joe Biden being super old. Trump is 77.
77 years old.
Like, so Donald Trump, when he was elected, was the oldest man ever elected president.
And then Joe Biden can buy it.
And then Joe
Can we have like?
Biden took it. If Trump gets reelected, he'd technically take it back. Trump would take back oldest person ever elected president because it's a 4-year term. So he'd be 1 year older than Joe Biden was when he was elected.
Oh. Why can't we have? Why can't? As Kane says, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yes.
Speaking of which, where's the motherfucker? He sent a message at 5:45, and he's not back.
This man is like half the things in the
This man posts
idea box.
so many idea box things, and he doesn't show up.
Actually, here's a thing, Jimmy. Here's a thing.
Yes?
We descended to American politics so much. Why don't we talk about Spanish politics?
We're still waiting. Okay, so it's currently voting time still. Yes, we're waiting on the people from the outside of the country. There are Spanish people outside of the country to do their vote.
Okay, the expats. Okay.
Yeah. ISO 1 red. I know that sounds really
I'll
like
be honest, I don't really...
basically the left.
Okay.
Because the left party, to be elected last time, they grouped up with what is basically communists. People who wanted to get the independence for their part of the country. Catalonia, basically. And País Vasco. And have been doing nothing but ruining the country for the past years. Like, the quality of life in Spain has deteriorated since these motherfuckers have gotten in. And they always blame the right side.
You're the ones in power.
Which is the other party, basically.
Wait, so it's... Spain is a parliamentary system, right?
Yes.
Alright. We've got Prime Minister... Spain still is also a constitutional monarchy, right?
Yes, we have a monarch. We have a king. Felipe the Sixth, I think it is. I think it's the 6th, yeah.
No one ever talks about the Spanish king, it's only ever the British king.
I mean, Felipe isn't doing nothing wrong. He's just kind of there.
It's to be fair though, one thing I've actually seen, talking about Britain though, the British monarchy, is apparently there's been a pretty big push since Elizabeth II died to be like, but do we really need the monarchy? Like, the monarchy, like, as an institution...
Imagine they become a republic.
Had, like, gone down in, like, the younger generations. And the other thing, though, with it is, from my understanding, basically the only reason nobody really cared too much about it was because Elizabeth II was a very, very popular monarch.
I mean, the memes. Careful, she's a queen. She can move in every space.
I mean, that's a lot of it. I think also part of it was the haha immortal queen meme.
The what queen now?
The joke that the queen was immortal.
And then it turns out she wasn't.
Which, yeah. I mean, the best joke I've seen is, given the thing was, that the queen saw who was going to be prime minister and she died and she was immortal. So I'm pretty sure the person who took power immediately after the queen died was the person who didn't outlast the lettuce.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Honestly, sometimes my father sometimes when shit like that is like he's just like, eventually the people from the Middle East are going to conquer us all. We're gonna regress back a bunch of time, and just history is going to repeat itself again.
The thing is, though, also with you being like, the Spanish left sucks and want literally anyone else in power. The other thing to keep in mind, Jimmy, is I'm pretty sure even like the Spanish right is probably still like left of the Democrats in America.
Probably. I mean, we do have a more right now with
like,
Vox. Which is
you're still definitely left of the Republicans.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because
I mean, they call the left calls Vox the fastest group, so
but is he though?
I don't know. I'm not gonna disclose anything because I'm honestly not super into politics because Jesus fucking Christ, it's a hot mess.
It's always a hot mess.
Always has been.
I'm fairly confident the Orange Man basically is actually a fascist to the U.S. I mean, and the thing is, though, the thing you have to keep in mind
The wall.
how bad some of the supporters of the Elephant Party are in the United States is there are people who legitimately think Vladimir Putin would be a better president than Joe Biden.
Excuse me. And we're seeing what Putin is doing right now in Ukraine.
I'm not making that up. This man has been issued an arrest warrant by the International Criminal Court.
Oh my god. What are we getting ourselves into, Meep? Where's the world going into?
When do we get onto this cursed timeline?
Why are we in the cursed timeline? God damn it.
Peaceful for a long time. More or less, at least in Europe. But
and
now...
And Putin go, haha, I conquer Ukraine. And he's failing miserably.
Yeah. It's the, we will reach Kyiv in 3 days. It's the whole, we will be home by Christmas.
You know the funny thing, though? The president of Ukraine used to be a comedian. I'm not joking, by the way.
Yeah, he used to be a comedian. Yeah.
Which is kind of based.
He has done the voice for multiple dubs of Ukrainian versions of movies. He's the voice of freaking the talking teddy bear from the Ted movies, I think, is what they.
Oh my god. And now look at him defending his country.
If I remember right, like he was also an actor, and like one of the things he did was in a political comedy. That basically followed more or less the same plot of his own campaign to become president.
I feel bad for him because imagine you become president of your country and then some idiot decides to invade you. Like what the fuck? What am I supposed to do now?
Embarrass the fuck out of him.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Keep asking NATO to finally please
let me in.
Give us the stuff we've been asking for a year and a half. Give me F-16s already.
Give me my freedoms.
I don't understand why the US was so hesitant to give them F-16s. I mean, come on.
What are F-16s planes, I assume, yes?
Yes, F-16s are planes. The F-16 is a plane that's from the 1970s.
Ah. And it's still in usage.
Yes. It is the US's go-to for when they need something that doesn't cost an exorbitant amount to run.
I mean, fair enough.
Its main job, if we're being honest, is to give pilots enough flight hours to stay qualified so they can fly the F-22s and F-35s.
Which are the more expensive planes, I assume, yes?
Yeah.
I love how when it's just us two, we end up we finish up talking about war, about politics, about fucking things that
for context, Jimmy.
Hi.
Yeah. The F-35, America's current new funny jet,
yeah,
has a unit cost of about $75 million.
Holy motherfucker.
However, it is basically a supercomputer with wings that is functionally invisible.
I mean, fair enough. Oh my goodness.
And there's a version that can vertical takeoff. Which means Jimmy, since it can vertical takeoff, that means the Marines can fly it.
Because helicopter?
Because it can take off from helicopter carriers, yeah.
Oh. I mean,
Amphibious assault ships, as the US calls them, but it means the ones that the Marine pilots are stationed on can use them.
That's kind of funny.
And then there's the F-22, which is like, I don't know how much the F-22 was. F-22 cost. The F-22 was 143 million apiece.
And the other one was 150, you said?
One was 75, the other's 100-something million.
Jesus. No wonder you guys have such deep pockets for military usage. My god.
And the thing is, Jimmy, the F-16 though.
Yes.
Is like the thing that the U.S. uses as the for stand-in for training purposes against Russia's current state-of-the-art prototype shit.
Wait, hold on, what?
Russia's current super fancy prototypes, like the Su-57, they use the F-16 to stand in for it when they do training. Because the thing you need to keep in mind for the U.S. defense budget is the United States has things that it considers out of date enough to put in a museum that are easily more advanced than some of the things Russia is using.
Oh my god. See, this is the thing that, well, yes, I kind of agree with my father that eventually the Middle East would just come in and rush everything. I just don't think it'd be able to conquer fucking America. They are that crazy enough. You are ungovernable.
Conquer America. It's not doable.
You guys are ungovernable.
No. Also the fact the United States owns like 70% of the small arms currently in existence.
Jesus Christ.
A full 40% of guns currently in existence are owned by Americans.
Yeah, because you have like 4 guns per person.
It's not the highest rate in the world, but the United States also has like the world's 4th largest population.
I still like, and then I'm like, my mother watches a lot of like murder series. Has been for like the past like 20 years nearly. But yeah, she watches it, and sometimes I'm like, how the hell are people like these allowed to carry guns? Like the other day I saw these
because American regulation is very poorly enforced.
Yes. Because the other day I saw a crime where a man was convicted to death, sentenced to death, in Florida actually, for killing his wife, who he was going through a divorce, and she was already going out with another man, wanting to move on, and the wife's best friend, and just going on a rampage there. Not only that, but she had an order for him to stay away from the house. And one of the days he just came in and destroyed a lot of things in the house. The day before that, actually. And I'm like, how are these people supposed like allowed this kind of shit?
The other thing, Jimmy, you have to keep in mind is there's particularly in states like Florida, there's a very strong interpretation of the American Second Amendment. That's the Second Amendment, Jimmy, for basically boils down to the line that specifically everyone cares about is the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And there is basically 2 interpretations of that. There is that the government cannot stop you from owning a gun, and the other interpretation is the government is not allowed to regulate at all what kind of guns you can and cannot own. There are people who consider any form of gun control legislation in the United States entirely unconstitutional.
Oh?
Yes. Due to the wording of the Second Amendment.
Okay.
general consensus is that, you know, some level of control is reasonable and should be allowed. However, it's like a very fuzzy line of where too far is,
Mm-hmm.
because there are some people who, like, California is well known for having the strictest gun control in the country and having some pretty weird rules uh to make things like allowed. Like I think for like half like there's like multiple things. It's like, yeah, you're just not allowed to have a pistol grip on like all these kinds of weapons. Like, huh?
That's on California?
Yes. It's like, huh? And one of the other things is gun control's been a really big thing Joe Biden has been pushing for. And the thing is, like, a lot of the time when he talks about it, one of his favorite talking points is that you weren't allowed to like just own a cannon back in the early days. And
Yes.
that's one of his favorite talking points. Legally in America, a black powder cannon isn't even a firearm.
Then what's supposed to be?
Legally, black powder weapons aren't considered firearms under U.S. law.
And what are they considered then?
They're just weapons. They're not firearms.
Ah.
It's specifically like more modern ammunition is required to be considered a firearm
Oh, okay.
under U.S. law. So that also means that under U.S. firearm laws, not only can you own a cannon, there is no regulation on it. Because there are people who own black powder cannons.
That is
They
hilarious.
don't mount them at the top of their stairs loaded for grape shot for home defense.
and shoot the dog with the pistol drawn in because it's bored. Like
Yeah,
the inside.
no, mainly the people who own those are like the Civil War reenactors. It's mainly the American Civil War reenactors who own those.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Because they mainly use them as like props, but they are, you know, functional black powder cannons. You could use them as a cannon.
Oh my god. Bruh.
But the whole thing with that is, you know, also the fact that in the really early days, like, the U.S. didn't have a navy because the idea was, oh yeah, we'll just send a bunch of guys out on their own boats to deal with any naval threat. Yeah, that, and they very quickly realized, you know, that's kind of stupid, especially given like if anyone was gonna like come over and try something on the water, it would be like Britain,
Yes.
who, you know, in order to like cross the Atlantic, you kind of need big boat.
Yes. Pretty big boat.
The U.S. then decided, you know, maybe we should have a standing navy, and then basically refused to fund it for the next 100-something
Oh my god.
years.
I will never understand your fucking country.
Basically, the U.S. military history is basically for the first like 100-something years, it basically gets no funding unless we're actively at war. And then World War II ends, and the government's like, all right, blank check.
Oh wait,
Have as
hold on.
much money as you want.
My god.
Defense industry go burr.
Yes.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Lockheed Martin.
That's from. Wait, hold on. That's from fucking.
Russian Badger.
Yes.
The other thing that you'll see a lot in the U.S. nowadays is people who don't know what they're talking about, going on about how whatever new U.S. technology is a piece of shit.
Well, this is better than fucking Russian technology.
I mean, that's not.
Yeah, no, that's not a lot of comparison.
But some of them do think Russian tech is better because they're stupid, or maybe they're just gullible. I don't know.
Probably
The whole thing is basically a lot of one of the big things for like the F-35 specifically is people going on about how it can't dogfight.
Why would it need to dogfight if it's basically invincible?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh no, it cannot engage in close range maneuver combat. It's not like it is a super stealth, long range thing loaded out with the most advanced missiles on the planet. Yeah, I know the F-4 Phantom had problems with its missiles, but that was during the Vietnam War.
That was 30 years. Hold on, 30, 40, 50. Wait, hold on. When was the
That was
Vietnam
like
War?
50
The
years ago,
60s.
yeah.
50 years ago. Holy shit.
And also, the Phantom wasn't allowed to actually like use its missiles range because IFF was broken or something. I don't know. So then they went into an area like, oh yeah, gun go burr, and then they're like back to the missile knows where it is because it knows where it isn't.
From detecting where it is, from detecting where it isn't.
It's the other thing specifically with the F-35 that makes it really dumb that people are complaining about the fact it's shit because it can't dogfight.
Yes.
The full name of the F-35 is the F-35 Lightning II.
Where's the Lightning One?
Which means there was another plane called the Lightning. This was the P-38 Lightning.
Ah.
Which also couldn't dogfight, but was still one of the best fighters of World War II.
P-38 Lightning. Okay. What was exactly the what was? Since you're the history war guy. What was the P-38 supposed to do?
P-38 Lightning was a twin-engine heavy fighter.
Okay, so it's supposed to fight from a long distance, I assume. Yes.
No. It's a different kind of fighter.
Okay.
It's basically, yeah, it cannot dogfight because very early on in the Pacific they tried to dogfight the Zero and that went poorly.
The Zero is the Japanese.
Yeah. The Japanese super light think that dogfighting was the only thing it was good at.
Yes. And Kamikaze, and even then Kamikaze wasn't good at.
Yeah. For context, the Zero had 2 rifle caliber machine guns. This concludes its list of features.
Oh! I was kind of expecting more, not gonna lie.
The Zero, to put himself how little it had, it did not have self-sealing fuel tanks, which everyone had at that point. It had... Many pilots took the radios out of them.
Huh?
Mainly because Japanese radios were kind of shit, and in that region of the Pacific, some atmospheric whatever, or magnetic field whatever, meant radios kind of sucked anyway. So most of the Japanese basically used hand signals to communicate with each other in the air.
Oh my god.
The P-38, on the other hand, weighed like 3 times as much, if not more.
Ah. Okay.
But was much more heavily armed, had 4 50 cals and a 20mm cannon.
Oh, actual cannons.
Yes. And they were all mounted directly in the nose instead of in the wing, so they didn't have conversion. So it did have better effective range. So early in the war, they tried to dogfight, and the P-38 got its ass handed to it because
it wasn't supposed to dogfight.
No,
by the way, what
it's
does
a big
F
heavy fighter.
What does the F and F-35 mean? Sorry.
Fighter.
Oh, fighter. Okay. And then P?
I don't know why the P-38 used the P. I don't know why.
Maybe plane. Plane 38 Lightning.
I don't know. Because it just doesn't conform. Anyway, however, then they realized, we cannot get into a close range turning dogfight with these planes. However, we are faster, more durable, and more heavily armed. How about we just don't engage them on their terms? So they use a different style of aerial combat, creatively nicknamed in the modern day as boom and zoom, where they basically go in at high speed, strafe the shit out of the enemy formation, and then just keep flying away until they get far enough away they can safely turn around and do it again. And maybe they'll take a couple hits. With one, the Japanese planes are super underarmed, and 2, the P-38 is a big heavy fighter. It's pretty durable, so they can shrug off a few hits. So it couldn't dogfight, but it was still a very, very effective fighter because it used a different style of combat. So the fact the F-35 cannot dogfight is irrelevant because it used a different style of aerial combat.
You don't need to be able to dogfight in order to do well.
And the other thing is the reason that people say it cannot dogfight is because there's like one specific aerial scenario test, whatever that they were doing. I forget the exact term, where it lost to an F-16 in a dogfight, because the thing people seem to forget with those kinds of scenarios is they put restrictions on what the pilot's allowed to do. Because it's a test. They want to test the planes in certain situations and see what happens in this situation.
Which, fair enough. Makes sense.
Yeah. Because the thing is, if you actually like look at anyone who's ever talked about like going up against an F-35 in a situation where it's not been handicapped, like even like veteran pilots against rookie will attest that it's very, very hard to get anything on it. Because first of all, obviously you have to find the thing.
No duh, eh? Hyperstyle.
Yeah. It's the same with the F-22.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously. It's... I mean, to be fair, some of the US stuff is, you know, arguably in need of some freshening up. I mean, the Abrams, for example,
Freedoms.
yeah, Freebrams,
My freedoms.
first entered service in 1980.
Oh
It's a
shit.
40-year-old tank.
Don't you think it's a good idea to get a new one?
I mean, to be fair, the US has basically replaced everything inside that tank by this point. It's basically just the same shell with the different internals entirely, more or less. But I know that there have been some concepts to like get new stuff, but it's like, to an extent, it's like, eh.
It
But
works,
you know,
so why
if
bother?
nothing else, one of the reasons a lot of NATO is actually like kind of low-key excited to send a lot of their tanks into Ukraine is they get a lot of data from that to look at, okay, in an actual like modern near-peer conflict, how tanks do, what's the weaknesses of modern tanks that we need to improve in our next versions.
Hmm.
Like, I know Britain actually specifically put some of their new stuff on their older tanks that they sent, specifically to test that new stuff
But which, clever.
in, like, actual combat situations. You know, yeah. I mean, a lot of US vehicles are, you know, kind of dated, but Russia's currently using T-55s on the front line, so...
Which are also tanks that are pretty old.
The T-55 is, I
Is
think
that
it
from the
predates...
50s?
Yes.
Isn't that the half like 70 years old?
That thing is, well, it is a tank. That's all I
That's
can
it.
really say.
That's it. I had to keep the awkward silence for a moment there.
Yes. I mean, to be fair, from what I've seen, a lot of NATO tanks have actually had some problems in Ukraine, mainly because, as it turns out, anti-tank mines don't really care what kind of tank you are.
It is anti-tank for a reason.
Like, especially since,
Eh.
you know, especially modern tanks don't really armor any other than the front.
What is
Like-
this, the fucking Excelsior?
The thing with it is like, oh no, and a lot of like the Russia subs will be like, ha, look, all the NATO tanks are getting wrecked. And it's like, yeah, we never said they were invincible. Unlike you. You're all like, oh yeah, my stuff's invincible, and then it immediately gets wrecked. It's like,
Or
oh,
immediately
no.
has problems.
Oh no, the tank hit the thing just specifically designed to stop tanks, and it got stopped. The horror.
Oh no, anyway.
It's not like Russia's turned a full third of Ukraine into minefield.
What?
Yeah. Ukraine estimates a full third of its territory has been mined.
Oh my god, this is horrible. I feel so bad for the
That's
Ukrainians.
not counting any leftover ordnance from all the previous wars fought there. At least that the nuclear power plant hasn't been sabotaged yet.
Thick fuck. We don't want a Chernobyl too.
No, Chernobyl was caused by incompetence. This would have been purposeful.
No, I mean like another nuclear plant just going near that area, not like in the East Europe.
I mean, the whole thing's just a big mess.
Yes.
Like, to put in perspective of how badly it's going, people have seen like some of the recent like press photos Putin's released. He's wearing body armor. Putin is legitimately wearing body armor like under his suit.
Why Putin?
Because it's going so badly for him, he's worried he's gonna get shot in the back.
Of course he is. No coward.
It's like the Wagner thing the Wagner's mutiny, the drive to Moscow really just showed how just
Powerless
bad
Putin was.
yeah. It's a whole mess. The good news is, though, on that front that I've seen, is it seems like Ukraine's actually making some good progress. I mean, it's not like lightning speed.
Yeah, of course we're not talking about
Progress,
blitzkrieg progress
but they
here,
tend to move the front line more. But they're moving the front line more in like every 3 days than Russia moved in the 3 months before the counterattack. So I think Ukraine's almost actually encircled Bakhmut again. Take it back.
Which is
That's the city that Russia spent like 5 months trying to take.
ah. That's good to hear.
Russia's pulled out of the Black Sea grain deal and has started attacking stuff there in the Black Sea, like bombing like the Ukrainian grain ports mainly. Apparently, they got like a minor damage to a Romanian ship.
Oh boy.
But supposedly, Turkey is gonna start providing convoy escorts to
Ukrainian ships, I assume.
grain ships coming to and from Ukraine. So, well, and any grain ship. They're not all Ukrainian ships, but they're ones going to Ukraine.
You know,
But,
because Ukraine usually has had a lot of grain
Yeah, they're one of the world's leading producers of grain.
and sunflower oil. Like, okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys don't use sunflower oil, or like, it's not common. You use other kinds of oil for cooking.
Some things, but mostly we use other kinds of oil.
Yeah, we don't. You don't use olive oil for cooking. Generally.
We do use olive oil for cooking sometimes. Mainly the U.S. uses, I think it's
Canola oil.
vegetable oil, canola oil, and peanut oil.
Yes. Well, in Spain, we use a lot of sunflower oil and olive oil. Duh.
Oil.
Oh right, I'm talking to America. What the fuck am I doing? Our oil. That shit is mine. But yeah,
Like, legitimately, the United States is like, oh yes, we're going to phase out oil to fight climate change and green technology. Anyway, the Supreme Court just told you guys you're clear to build that new oil pipeline. Good luck.
hey, hold on, wait, what? Repeat that? I kind of cut.
The United States is out of one hand going on and on about how they need to do the green energy and to fight climate change and all that. Meanwhile, we've just given approval to build an all-new oil pipeline.
Brilliant.
The bruh.
Bruh. Just, that's the only thing we can say, bruh.
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 Anyway, though, on the topic of moving away from oil, I wanted to talk about this while the others are here, but they're not here. So, Meep went to go see Train.
Ah, yes, you went to go see Train yesterday?
Yes, yesterday. So, in California, as you may or may not be aware,
Okay. I'm not.
they're working on the high-speed rail project, America's first true high-speed rail project.
Oh my god,
Part of
yes.
that is planned to run from San Francisco to Los Angeles via the California Central Valley.
Okay.
Now, part of the project, what they decided to do is between San Jose-ish and San Francisco, they're not running on a dedicated track. They're
Oh.
running on an upgraded existing corridor.
Okay.
Now, normally this would be kind of stupid. One, this saves them having to bulldoze their way through one of the largest suburban sprawl areas in the country.
Yes. And
Build a new rail line. Second of all, it means they don't have to buy up the land in one of the most expensive areas in the country to do that. And three, running slightly slower for that amount of distance really doesn't change that much.
yeah, I was like, that sounds really really clever.
It's basically they're just like, you know what? For this amount of time, the amount of gains we'd get for the amount of money we'd have to spend is not worth it at all. So we're not. So instead of what they did is they gave some money to upgrade the existing rail corridor, which is operated, I think it's owned by Union Pacific, but it's operated by a commuter rail service known as Caltrain, as in California Train. Very creative.
Yeah, no, doy.
And so one of the parts of that was obviously electrifying that entire right-of-way
Mm-hmm.
with new, proper catenary wires and everything, as well as doing some signaling upgrades and some track upgrades. And I think they also like grade separated like 1 or 2 crossings, but mostly they're just upgrading the existing grade crossings to be safer. So what Caltrain was doing is they, at the station in San Jose, had pulled up 2, I thought it was only going to be 1, but it was 2 of their brand new electric multiple unit train sets.
Let's go.
And they were basically letting the public on board to take a look at them.
So they went in and take a look at train.
Basically show them off. Because they are going to be up and running probably at this point close to a decade before the high-speed rail, if we're being honest.
Hold on. 1 second. Ad.
Oh no, advertisement. While that's going on, I'm going to refill my drink.
Alright. I'm gonna go get some water too. So, while Ad goes, I'm just gonna get some water. A brand new water bottle.
I have returned. I don't think Jimmy has returned though.
Alright. I feel ads should probably be done now.
Yes.
Give me a second, I put my headphones back on.
Huzzah. We're back.
I got cookies
Anyway.
too.
Cookie. As we were saying, trains.
What about the train?
So they had an event in San Jose to show off the trains. So there was basically 2 parts to it. There's a thing out in the parking lot, and then there's the actual trains themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The parking lot, they had like a bunch of booths set up where they had like they had a little model of the train. They had some food trucks there. They had had some people who had booths there for like some of the local transit agencies also had booths there for stuff for like their plans to like upgrade that station
Hmm.
to integrate a whole bunch of different things to have it be a whole like transfer between multiple modes of transit, like the local metro line and the local light rail line and stuff like that. There's already like 7 bus stalls there for bus lines that meet there.
Oh my God, buses.
Yeah, they transfer to the other trains that stop at that station. For like the other like commuter trains and just actual like normal Amtrak trains. There was the High Speed Rail Authority had a booth there. They had a few things there, and then they basically called you by groups to go into the station and go look at the train, where they let you like onto the train. You could walk through like the first 3 cars of the train.
Uh-huh.
Or it's a nice new EMU. I think that Statler made them. I think is the name of the company. I think it's a Swiss company.
Hmm.
They've set up a factory in Utah to make a bunch of trains for the U.S. market.
Hmm.
And they're nice, modern.
I mean, they're Swiss.
7-car EMUs. You know what EMU stands for, right? Yeah, I think they're Swiss.
No. Because I've never gotten on a train in my... Well, I don't usually go to trains.
So the EMU stands for Electric Multiple Unit.
Okay.
Which basically means instead of having a locomotive, you've got multiple. The power is distributed along the length of the vehicle. Okay.
Ah. So there's not like the front of a train, I guess. Or,
Well, there is the front.
Yeah, there is one, but it's not as big as a normal locomotive would be.
It's what it is instead of a locomotive, you've got a car. You've got basically a car that's just got a cab on one end.
Yeah.
And so these sets have the cabs on both ends because they don't turn around at the ends of the line.
Hmm. The man just turns around and goes the other way back to the front.
Yeah, the driver just gets out and goes to the other end of the train.
Mm-hmm.
Because who would have thought San Francisco is pretty low on space to turn a train around? So I actually found the website for it proper. So they've got 2 cab cars. So the consist has 2 cab cars, 2 standard just passenger cars.
Yeah, because
2
this is
cars dedicated to having the lower level be where people with their bikes. Yeah, 2 people with their bikes, and they've got 1 car that's got the unit's restroom.
Hmm.
Because it's commuter train. You're not going to be on it very long. You only need like the 1 bathroom.
Because the rest is not, how long would this take? Like an hour?
Yeah, like tops.
The rest is not like a little break area to buy like snacks or something.
Yeah, especially since once all the line upgrades are done, the plan is for these things to run the length at 110 miles an hour, which is pretty good. That's basically what put it in perspective, Jimmy. The Acela Express, America's current only quote unquote high speed line, I think tops out at 120 for 10 miles. This thing's gonna have an intended track speed for most of the run at 110.
Yeah, so like I said, an hour long. But I'm surprised when you said that there's no area where you can just buy snacks. Or something
Well,
like
the
that.
idea is it's a commuter train, Jimmy. Mm-hmm. So the idea is you get on to go to work. So you bring your stuff. That and there's probably vending machines in all the stations.
Ah, yeah, I was thinking. Oh, yeah, true.
So they've got these things. They've got these are nice modern ones. So it's they've got power outlets under all the seats,
Hmm.
basically. They've got modern screen displays for trip information.
Yeah.
Got nice, big, modern, disability compliant restrooms that are like actually like legitimately very nice. They've got overhead bin space basically. They basically got overhead bin space to put bags.
Oh, that's nice.
The I will say this when I got on them, the seats did feel a bit small.
Sometimes that's a price you have to pay.
But the other thing though, Jimmy, is
Yes.
I thought they were small, and I am a stick figure. Like I was sitting in one of the seats, okay, and I was sitting basically. They're two wide rows basically, where it's two on the left, two on the right. I was on one of the ones that was up against like the wall of the car. Sitting in the center of the seat, there was like half an inch between my shoulder and the wall, and my other shoulder was basically right in the middle of the two seats.
Ooh. Okay. That is kind of thin.
Call a bit suboptimal.
Yes. They're going to be like, you want to get to this train? Get weight. Lose weight.
Especially for like, well, even ignoring the average American being a bit pudgy, if there's someone like my father who just has broad shoulders, they're not gonna fit super well. The other thing is like the chairs weren't like super comfortable, but they're like short haul. You're not gonna be on them for very long, so they're sufficient. They're not the most comfortable, but I'm sure they're a lot more durable. So
yeah, I'm sure they're durable though.
Yeah. Then you've got a bunch of stuff to tie up your bikes. For if you bring your bike on the train, which they do encourage. They've got dedicated cars for that. Where one of the things they did is actually on the new ones, you don't actually have to like lift up your bike to put it on the racks.
Oh.
It's easier for that. And the other thing, Jimmy, is they've got integrated like level boarding ramps and stuff.
Oh, so it's easier to get the bike in.
Well, also for people with wheelchairs.
True.
Here is also, I'm gonna put in images, a photo, one of their stock photos of the new locomotive. Well, not locomotive, but the new vehicles. That's one of the cab cars.
Ah. Oh yeah, that looks okay. That looks nice.
And
Yeah.
you can see the train out behind it.
Yeah. Looks like it has 2 floors.
Looks like it has what?
2 floors.
It does.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
It's a dope factory.
Oh shoot. Okay then. I noticed because there has like, hold on, let me, the usual. Hold on. Give me just a moment.
Let's put the picture on the screen.
That's what I was going to do.
It's technically, Jimmy, it has 3 floors.
Oh?
It has 2 floors and it has a half floor.
Alright.
I'm waiting for the thing to show up on the stream. So. Alright, there it is. I see it.
Hold on, it is now fucking covering me.
It's behind me, but in front of you.
Yes. Alright, there we go.
Alright. So, as you can see, like, behind my avatar, you can see the windows for the top and bottom floor for, like, where the people sit.
Yes.
And you can see the open doors to, like, board and stuff.
Yeah.
You'll note, though, that the side windows for the cab are not in line with either of those sets of windows.
Yeah.
Because it's on the, like, half floor. Stairs basically go from that lower set of doors up to where you'll note the second higher set of doors
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, so these second set of
Which
doors
I'll
is
get
for
back
the
to those.
cab.
Where there's kind of like a half level there.
Yeah.
No,
No?
no.
Oh, okay.
I said I'll get back to them in a moment. Don't worry.
Okay.
Like a floor level with that second set of doors. That's basically where you turn around to then go up the stairs to the upper floor.
Okay.
On like that half floor, there is that